You guys are recording on location from where are you from?
Endor.
You're at
in
Endor
the snow
again?
season.
A raging snowstorm.
Yeah, frozen wastes of Hoth.
Actually, now we know
Feels
that
like it.
the Forest Moon of Endor does go through different seasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
they have
Yeah,
snow
we
on
hadn't seen
Endor.
snow before, had we? This was the first time.
When did this one air? Have you guys said that?
Yeah, we haven't really introduced.
Right,
the
yeah, so this is episode 13, the last episode of season 1. Its name is Asha. It aired November 30th of 1985.
Huh.
Okay, so in a snow season on the northern hemisphere of Earth.
There you go. Late November.
Perfect.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Total Rewatch. Today we have a special guest.
Hello, I'm Mary.
This is Mary.
This is my wife.
Hey.
And she watched this episode with me, so... Special-
Long-time listener, first-time guest host.
Yeah.
First-time caller.
First-time caller.
Experience
Yeah,
podcast.
so that's one thing I wanted to mention is, Mary, you're here because
Yes.
you're promoting a tour for your new podcast. Or your old podcast, right?
Wow. For the old podcast.
For the old podcast, yes, all my movies.
Which was
Yes.
about...
Sandra Bullock movies.
Yeah.
We picked an actor. We're in talks for a second season, so just a heads up.
Are there
We'll see if it
enough
happens.
new Sandra Bullock movies to talk about?
No, we would move on to Emma Thompson.
Oh,
Emma
nice.
Thompson.
Right. So hopefully
choice.
everybody can tweet at their producer and hopefully get this this deal going.
Right. You got all our huge listenership now hearing about you.
Yes, come on board.
Yeah. But
Be our fans.
the rest of us are the same as usual. So there you go. That's who you're listening to right now.
Things started to get stale with just the three of us, so we're gonna start bringing guests on. That's it.
Well, speak for yourself.
Once in
No?
a Blue Harvest.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I'm happy to get guests, but
That's what I was feeling like.
yeah, I'm sick of you guys.
Well, and this is. Did I hear this is the season finale?
Right.
The Asha
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
I mean,
fun finale episode.
this is a good one to join on because this is, without a doubt, the best episode so far.
Is it?
You think so?
It's so good. Like, it's really interesting. You're in
Okay.
for a treat, everybody.
Well, all right, we can talk about that. I liked it. I thought it was good. I don't know if I'm not sure what I think the best
just
one would be.
relative to all the other episodes, this one actually was a good story. There was really good characters and character development.
It felt to me like maybe a slightly higher quality of animation, at least a different way of pacing it or
It
something.
was just story pacing and characters.
When the Dulux showed up, we were kind of back to, I feel like the usual
The Dulux were the same.
hijinks.
Jokes as usual.
The bad ones,
The bad one.
as Asha refers to them.
Oh yeah. Asha.
I don't know if you guys had explained what the
Uh,
Dulux
we-
look like, or had you? They're like yellowish Grinches.
Yeah. They
I'm
are.
glad you already said
Well,
that.
yeah, Mary also thought that they looked
Okay,
like the
maybe we
Grinch.
had discussed the Dulux look.
No, but
Okay.
if you thought it too, then that is just what they look like. So
They do. Look like the Grinch.
you haven't actually seen any episodes of Ewoks,
Right.
have you?
No, this is my first time visually.
Yeah, you just got
seeing
our
it.
descriptions.
Yeah. It's like, what do your favorite characters look the same as you expected?
No, I feel like I was a little thrown. I think I expected them to look more like teddy bears, but they still kept somehow the like human in a bear suit look of the movie.
Sure.
But they kept the proportions for the cartoon. I think I was surprised by like their whole cloaks and like clothes. They still kept those.
Yeah, they wear their hoods and cloaks.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that.
But there's a scene in this episode where Nisa is not wearing her hood, and boy, she looks weird.
Their clothes are all different colors, and I think that's the only way to really tell them apart.
Yeah, because they all have vaguely similar fur. But as we learned in this episode, the red fur is the most rare Ewok color.
The rarest of them all.
Kind of like in real life. Like, I'm a redhead.
I mean, you would know me.
And there aren't that many other redheads.
You're the most rare.
It's a unique
the
gene.
most rare
Humans.
Ewok.
Do you know?
Oh,
Of
humans.
Ewoks, yeah.
Here's the synopsis from Wikipedia. It says, after
Okay.
a group of Ewoks have a run-in with the Dulocs, Princess Nisa discovers that her long-lost sister Asha is alive and living in the forest.
What?
Nisa and Wicket set out on a quest to find her.
It's a lot better
Wow.
plot synopsis than we usually ramble on for like 5 minutes about the plot.
Wow, we go into a little more detail.
I mean, that is what happens.
That's what happens.
This is the first we've ever heard about Nisa having a lost sister.
I know.
She'd been gone for a long
It's
time.
very
And had you
emotional.
never met her mom?
No.
Because also her mom
No, her
died
mom died.
protecting her
Yeah.
sister.
And is this bad that I didn't realize she didn't have a mom?
Well, they don't always show everybody. They've never showed Wicket's mom.
Except for
I think they did like
the
once.
first
For
Ewok
real?
movie.
What about when his dad was sick? Wasn't that Wicket's dad?
Oh, was she in that
Deej,
one?
yeah.
I think they barely focus on the adults other than the chief and Logray.
Yeah.
And so
Not
you
gonna
just
have
don't
that many
really.
Aunt Bozzy. Who could forget Aunt
Well,
Bozzy?
We haven't seen her in forever, so I don't know.
So to elaborate on the synopsis, the group of Ewoks is Wicket, Tebow, and Paplu. And they're just off on a fishing trip. Just a
They
couple
took their
of boys.
gliders though, so that was
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, a half day's glide.
That's
Half
right.
day's glide into the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great. They're just on a little
It's
camping
only
trip.
3 days by Blarg.
As the blarg flies.
Half a day by glider. That's how I travel.
the
Oh,
Ewok
one thing
flies.
I don't
As
know.
the Ewok.
I hadn't picked it up from listening to the podcast, but the Ewoks, they like use some of their own language before they like get into a real English sentence. I hadn't picked up
Yeah.
on that.
Mix in Ewokese, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
and,
a lot
their,
though.
Yeah,
their
this one had
charge
quite a bit of it.
phrase and
Dengar.
I think once you mentioned that, like, or once you were saying, what are they talking about? What are those words? I started realizing like just how much they do that. Because by episode 13 here, I've heard these words enough. I kind of just know what they're saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fluent in
true.
Ewokese at this point.
I was confused. I was like, wait, because it vaguely sounds like it should be something.
Yeah, we were joking about making like an Ewok to English dictionary,
Rosetta Stone.
or an app, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
You don't want to be like talking to an Ewok and look like a total lurdo, you know?
Right.
right.
That's how you get eaten.
That's right. Once you can communicate, you realize just how nice these Ewoks really are. And friendly. But if you can't talk to them, they'll think you're just, a wild... Well, see, the Ewoks in this episode, though, don't even hunt, right? They're against hunting. Unless,
Or they only hunt when they need to.
yeah, if they have to survive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they rely on their crops.
Or maybe they're good foragers too. Like for
Yeah.
berries and things.
So, I don't know what was going on in the movie.
They're like vegans that only eat fish. Fish is acceptable, but
Well,
Well, no,
they'll hunt, but only out of necessity.
They rely on their planting and their harvesting. But, like, so I don't know what was going on in Return of the Jedi. They were just ready to eat the first thing they found.
Well, I think at that point they'd been under Imperial occupation for
Right, those are
several
hard
moon
times.
cycles. So
That's right.
several
Okay.
snows.
All right, I'll buy it. I'll
Oh,
buy
right, because they're gonna eat Han. Got it.
They were.
It. Yeah, they were getting ready to cook everybody. But no such behavior in this series here.
Looks like a meat's back on the menu. Boys. There's a new
So-
video.
Oh man.
the Dulocs have actual spears, not just like sticks covered with a soft,
Oh yeah.
pointy end.
Yeah, he does have a spear. So yeah, there's a group of Dulocs that are also in the woods that are hunting some kind of goat kangaroo.
It's a
Yes. Marilock? What was it? Maramoo.
It's kind of like a mountain goat, right? With the curly horns.
Right, mountain goat horns.
Yeah.
Apparently they're very valuable to do.
He just wanted a trophy.
So they're kind of like poachers.
They're just hunting for the sport. That's what they say, but it's just like, come on, Dulocs, show a little respect here for the world you live in. It's a good message. There's a group of 5 Dulocs in this hunting party, though, because there's good old X and O.
They got an X and an O on their chest.
And then there's like diamond shape with a hole. in the middle.
Oh yeah, is he a new one?
I haven't seen him before.
One of the Dulocs has an up and down arrow on his chest,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what these symbols mean, but
differentiating.
they are there.
So they catch the goat, but are,
Apprehended.
yeah, chased away by
The red
the
ghost.
red ghost.
And she has a pretty epic entrance here.
I
You just
know.
see her silhouetted with the sun behind her.
Standing up on a tree.
Just
And
growled
she
at
like
them.
lets out a howl.
Yeah, she's scary.
We find out Asha was literally raised by wolves.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
In the
right.
forest.
This is Asha, as we find out. Might as well reveal it now because I did in the synopsis. It's the red-haired Ewok, and she's wild.
She's kind of a boss.
She's super boss.
The other Ewoks, I guess, are
They're also afraid of her at first, and they run away.
like you've seen Ewoks being warriors, but I feel like she's just way more.
Like she almost injures Tebow because he was like struggling to free the Meramu, like, but he was like touching the ropes.
Yeah,
It took her a minute to realize, like, no, they're freeing it.
very wary of anyone else here, even her own kind. And she doesn't even speak their language hardly. And she calls her wolf mount.
And rides away on it.
Yeah, pretty cool. Ewoks grab their gliders. Like, let's get out of here. Man, what a way to bounce out.
Hopefully
of a
they put out their
situation like
campfire,
that.
or else the smoke
Right.
bear is gonna be on them. Or isn't that in the same universe?
I don't know. Space bears. So you see some other little Ewok kids, and I'm noticing their fur color now that they brought up the rare red fur. You've got some blue and some orange.
The little
and a
walklings.
white one. Yeah, all the little walklings are different colors. I hadn't really ever thought about what color they all were before, but now I'm noticing it.
Okay, and
Thanks, Asha.
walklings. It's just this one walkling little girl. I don't know if it's like Nisa's little sister or something. Somebody's little sister. But holy crap, the worst voice I've ever heard.
Oof, da.
Can I play? It's horrible.
I don't have 6 arms.
You can't tell what
we were,
she's saying.
We were saying that.
Yeah, like too much of a lisp happening to fully understand this baby.
Here, here's the other line.
Are you okay? Yeah. I was just thinking about Asha. I still miss her so.
I'd miss my sister too.
Don't try, Lisa. Your fur will get all sticky.
I didn't get anything from that.
No.
What are you saying? That's how kids talk, right? Right? I think it is supposed to be your little sister.
Why would anybody talk like that?
I hope the voice actors for this series aren't listening. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
dumb.
Anyway, we get to our little backstory, flashback of when Nisa was a kid,
Yes.
and they're like fighting off something. What was it? I forgot. It
Hanadak.
was one of the monsters. Yeah, they've seen those before, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They were in apparently 2 of the other episodes.
A Hanadak. Okay. So they're fighting off one of those things, and Nisa's mom, I guess, died fighting this thing to protect her girls. So that's sad.
Yeah, they don't show it.
And I guess Asha, I don't even know actually.
No,
Why
her
did she
mom
get-
told her to go into the river to hide, but Asha
Okay.
couldn't swim, and so she just was swept down the river.
It was almost as brutal as the opening for Battle of Endor.
Well, I mean, not quite that
It's
bad.
pretty dramatic.
But yeah, so Nisa figures that it must be her long lost sister that they were talking about. So she enlists Wicket to help her go get her sister back.
Wicked tries to explain the way that they went, and he's like, you know what? I'll just come with you, because you wanted to anyway, though. You could tell.
Oh yeah.
Did you discuss how Wicket is not very good at giving directions?
Yeah.
Good.
He probably just couldn't quite remember, and he was like, I'll just come with.
You go
play it
east,
safe.
then you go west, and then you go around somewhere. I forget what he said.
Go
Just
over
half
the
a day's
woods.
glide though.
He crosses
the
his
river.
arms, pointing in both directions. He's as
Yeah, he
lost
went
as
that
a
way.
Jinda.
I mean, that's saying something.
Yeah, but he warns her that it's gonna snow soon, so it's risky. And then it immediately snows.
And the next shot, they're in a blizzard.
Yeah. Man, it just became winter fast. The ecosystem's really tips at a certain time of year. What's this animal called that they ride on?
Bordock?
Bordock.
This feels like if you travel in a direction, like any direction though, this seems like what you should find on Endor. Like just more forests and cliffs and stuff, rather than, camps of traveling Jindas or like
desert or
magic
something.
Goopin kingdoms and just all kinds of bizarre things they keep finding. Like, what direction do you have to go to get to those things?
Right. No, it feels like they probably traveled a long way from the village, but it's still forest.
Yeah, half a day's glide. I don't know how far that would be.
How far do they have to travel to get to these other landscapes?
I was gonna say this right at the beginning of the episode, but Chukha-Trok,
Yeah.
the woodsman, is in this.
He is.
Right.
He's
The
still alive.
Chukha-Trok.
This is before
Wicket's
his...
about to fall off a cliff, and Chukha-Trok saves him.
I was super excited to see
Right?
him.
Hadn't they like name dropped him though? They're like, he lives nearby.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said he was in the area, and then he shows up, saves Wicket from falling off a cliff.
I feel like he's kind of doing what Asha is doing, He's just on his own out in the woods, just the protector of the area. There's a point later where he and Asha are like hunting Dulocs together, and I was like, yeah, these two would get along.
So, for any listeners who may not remember, Chukha-Trok is in the first live-action Ewok movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Caravan of Courage.
Yeah. And they just find him kind of like this, just kind of out on his own, doing his own thing, cutting down
Nearly
a tree.
killing them by dropping it on them.
And then he fights with them, goes on their quest, and then he dies at the end of that movie,
Right.
fighting the giant.
Super
Wait,
tragic.
what?
Yeah. Pretty epic.
This
Okay.
takes place
know,
obviously before
kind of
that
epic.
movie.
That's why it's fun to see him, because,
It's been so long
this
now.
great guy. Yeah, and he has he like has an axe that he can throw at stuff, which he does in his cartoon too. There you go. I mean, there's not a lot to say about him, but that's
It's
what
always
we
cool to
know.
see somebody from the, these lesser known bits.
Yeah, again, they're tying things together. They aren't all just characters that show up once and are forgotten.
That's why
about.
this
He's
episode is so
out
great.
there somewhere.
It's like you've got this really interesting character, Asha, who is like an Ewok raised by wolves, and this long lost sister, and then you got Chukha-Trok, who's like the coolest guy with his axe. Like some really interesting characters and development. It's great.
Yeah, and it might be the only real bit of timeline information. The fact that he's in this
Sure.
is the only thing that really tells us, oh, this series takes place before those movies.
Right.
Otherwise, you just have no idea. He's fighting off these cool fox.
Yeah, they're called
things.
Coits. They do not have a Wikipedia page.
Disappointed.
But there you go. It's another creature to add to the list.
But once again, they're about to attack. Chukha-Trok is trying to be scary and drive them off. But once again, it's the red ghost, aka Asha, who actually scares them off.
They know who she is. Her reputation
Yes.
precedes her.
Yeah, they do that trick where, like, the red ghost is behind. What is it, Chukha-Trok?
Yeah.
It's like it looks like they're afraid of Chukha-Trok, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm winning," but it's just the red one behind
Run
him.
away. Ha ha ha.
Standing up on that rock.
Right.
I laugh in the face of danger.
Ho ho ho!
And the Lion King, right?
Oh.
When Mufasa is
Yes.
roaring behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the original.
Is this no? This isn't a Disney cartoon,
No.
is it?
It is now.
It is now, but it wasn't back then, right?
Nope. This is Lucasfilm. Aired on ABC.
That's where I was like, wait, it aired on ABC, so it's like vaguely Disney.
Oh yeah, ABC was Disney. Or at least it is now.
Everything will eventually be Disney, so,
Slowly consuming.
Yep. So family reunion. And she doesn't know how to
She
talk
remembers Nisa.
very well.
It comes back to her pretty quick.
Because Nisa is still wearing like this blue stone that Asha had found for her on that fateful day when their mother died protecting Asha.
Oh, I see.
So she's like, "Oh, I remember this on your cloak."
Yeah, touches it.
I was touching Aaron's head for
There's a blue stone on your head.
Nisa, sister,
We'll play a little
Ewok.
Of the accent.
Asha voice, because,
Of her voice.
she has a very
Yeah.
interesting way of talking.
I must stay. Fight the bad ones.
You mean the Dulocs?
They come every snowfall. Kill animals for their fur and horns. Each season, I secretly break their traps. But bad ones keep coming back. I must stay.
I don't know, it works. It's convincing enough for me.
What I want to know is Asha going to become a part of the second season or what?
I know. She's such a good character. And she comes back with them. She at first says that she can't go back to the village with Nisa
Mm-hmm.
because the Dulocs are still around hunting. She needs to put a stop to that.
Yep.
But they get rid of the Dulocs by the end, so she does come back to the village with her, and maybe she'll show up again.
Yeah.
That would be good.
She is cool. I thought she's a very cool
Yeah.
character.
I found one of the Ewok story editors in 1988 was talking. He said, had we done a third season, I'm sure we would have done a few more stories with Asha. We got many letters asking what had happened to her. We did build her up as a major character, and in the second season, we didn't do much with her. She is
Okay.
in a couple episodes in season.
She is. All right.
Good.
That'll be fun
Paul
to see.
Dini. We'll have to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, Paul Dini.
He was one of the writers.
Yeah. A lot of these were written by him.
Well, we'll have to reach out to Paul.
Yeah, if you're out there listening.
Hey, I mean, you never know.
We know we have at least one listener in California, which I'm pretending is George Lucas, but maybe it's Paul.
No, but like, sometimes you get these people that work behind the scenes on stuff.
I have to practice my interview skills.
We should just do what we always do on this podcast. We should just kind of ramble on, and then we edit it down to something that's actually listenable. Okay, moving
Yeah,
on.
Move along.
The Dulocs are kidnapping the same kangaroo. Gosh,
Kangaroo does not get a break.
no. The king is here and the shaman.
All the Dulocs who are individual characters instead of just the nameless army of them that you see once in a while.
And Asha just walks right in there and starts freeing all the animals they captured.
Yeah, she just doesn't even care. Not afraid of these guys. And they're looking at each other like, are you kidding me?
Like the king is like, hello, Ewok. Looks like you're freeing all our animals.
Yeah, I can't help noticing.
That guy. yeah. It was a pretty good line.
Excuse me, Red. I couldn't help noticing that you're letting all my nice little animals go.
Uh-huh.
They attack.
And then there's a big fighting scene, which is...
Well, the shaman tries to, like, subdue the kangaroo with some powder, with some, like, drugs or something.
pepper.
Yeah.
It didn't.
It kind of.
Just makes him sneeze.
It looks like pepper.
Yeah, that seems to be all it does because he gets it on him, and that's all it does. You got some fun little animals here. There's a little armadillo walking
Yeah.
away after she opens the cages. But you do get a lot of Duloc
Shenanigans.
making all these silly noises. You get some nice bowling pin sound effects.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got it all.
She throws one Duloc into the others.
Oh, and then a lot of the Dulocs just stuck their head in the snow. It's like they're not. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I'm hiding, but
a little unclear as to why they kept doing that.
They're trying to hide.
Like an ostrich. She threatens to cut its tail off and use it as a headband. And they're like, no, anything but that.
I mean, she's just toying with them. They're not really a big threat, just an annoyance.
They're still as annoying as usual,
Yeah.
but she is a really good fighter. Just throwing them left and right and everything.
and she's mostly taking them on single-handedly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Chukha-Trok tried to help her, but he fell in a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that another trap? Like, hunting trap set by these guys?
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Asha's also got her wolves on her side. I mean, that is actually pretty scary.
So she basically says, you Dulocs never come back here again, or I will have my wolves eat you.
Right.
Yep.
They all jump on a log, and they sled down a hill and off a cliff into the water.
Into the river.
Classic. So is this the end of the Dulocs?
Find out next time.
Oh gosh, I hope so.
It might be. They're afraid of the Ewoks now. or of
Great
Asha anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then Asha says goodbye to her wolf pack and then agrees to come home. And there's a touching moment with her dad finds her.
Chief Chirpa. They'd given her up, left for dead. They searched for her. He said that they had searched a long time.
Oh yeah, and Wicked and his brother are like,
It's Chukha-Trok.
I'm not crying. Oh, that's Chukha-Trok? Never mind. I thought it was Peppa.
Peppa's got the mustache.
Yeah, they're both tough guys. They're like, oh, we're not crying. I got a snowflake in my eye.
Yeah, lots of those.
Lots of those
There's
around.
lots of those around, yeah.
I wanted to know, like, why do they only have 3 fingers?
It's easier to draw.
They've got like 2 fingers and a thumb.
They're Ewoks. That's what they look like.
Did they have that in the
No,
movies,
I think
though?
they had all 5.
Maybe they all grew 2 more fingers before the events of Return of the Jedi. Because of, you know...
With the Imperial people on the planet, like, something got in their water, they grew more fingers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Could be anything. Could be one of Logre's potions.
Here's the end of Chukha-Trok. It says he single-handedly fended off the Gorax, allowing the rest of the group to escape. The sacrifice resulted in the Ewok being mortally wounded by the Gorax, and he died in Mace's arms. As a parting gift, he gave the young human his axe, which was ultimately used to defeat and kill the Gorax, avenging his friend. Wow.
My axe.
Yeah. Basically a Gimli character.
He just got squished under some rocks.
Okay, he might have gotten like stepped on or something. It was good.
That's the movie that we kept comparing to Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
So it
Oh,
felt,
that's the one?
yeah.
Basically Gimli. If Gimli was
Nice.
Boromir.
And was
Yes.
a bear.
Well, that was the end of
That's
season
it.
1.
Yeah. It tied together all those loose ends that season 1 has been dropping, right? No?
You didn't even know that
No.
Nisa had a
It
sister.
introduced
did you?
new loose ends and resolved those, which was great.
Introduced and resolved in the same episode.
Yeah.
No, wait, everybody has to give their rating.
It's a yub.
You know what? I wanted to give it a yub, but the Duloc scene at the end
Cody,
takes it down.
What do you want from this?
Yeah, have you given anything
No.
a yub?
Not gonna get any better than
It
this.
might. You never know. Season 2 might have a good episode without the Dulocs being all cartoony. So I'm going to give it 0.8 of a yub.
0.8, okay. Well, I will give it a yub despite the Duloc
Wow.
shenanigans. Because the rest of it was good. I'm not gonna expect greatness from these. I just want them to be good.
If it's over 2 yubs, I mean, that's gonna have to go on the worth watching list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be the rating. More than half.
I think I'd give it a yub. It kept me, like, interested in like, keep watching it. Like, I wasn't like,
Oh my
can't
goodness.
handle it, turn it
That's
off.
right. Mary
Yeah.
adds another yub.
So this one eclipses all others with 3.8 yubs out of 3 yubs.
You just boosted it.
Yeah,
to
you just pushed it over the top.
3.8.
Wow. One thing I would say, I was maybe going to give it, like, only 7/8 of a yub. Because the snow was just, like, too patterned. But it's the mid-'80s. Cartoons aren't going to... Animations, it gets better over time, so...
I didn't notice that,
I just
but
want a more realistic snow. The snow is just like a pattern of a grid coming down.
Oh, that's why.
okay.
I totally
still gets a yum.
saw that too.
And we're not done with Ewoks yet, folks. So we still have one more season.
But this is a milestone.
In season 2, they redesigned everybody. a
Yeah,
bit.
I noticed that.
Some of them have different voices too, so it's not the end of the series, but it's the end of kind of this iteration of the Ewoks.
We'll probably do a series recap at the end, after the end of season 2.
Oh man, they look more like Care Bears now.
The colors are much more, I don't know.
Vibrant.
Well, we can talk about this maybe the next episode when we start season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining us,
All right.
Mary.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks for coming along. And
We'll
Can't
see what we
wait.
get next time
Can't
on
wait.
Star Wars Total Rewatch.
Just can't wait. Just can't wait to be king.